Hey guys, how's it going? So in this video, I wanted to talk about the chronograph watch. What has happened to it, where has it gone over the years, and to the chronographs that we all know today. The big, bulky, sometimes rather ugly chronographs. So let's get this started, guys. So guys, I'm going to start with my absolute favorite, the 34mm chronographs. And I'll explain why they're my favorite. These vintage chronographs, they were made from a time where you would use your watch for one purpose. There wouldn't be multi-purpose watches, you know. It'd be a work watch, it'd be a dress watch, it'd be everything into one. These 34mm watches, these are authentic work and dress watches. They were nice, small, fitted nice to the wrist. And these were just beautiful watches that would go good with any suit and would go good with any kind of occasion. A lot of them would come gold plated, like this Lemania 105. Beautiful watches, nice, discreet, thin, and they would still have the chronograph function in there, which a lot of people needed. Nowadays, a chronograph function, we just have it because we can, you know, just because we want it on the watch. But really, what are we timing? What are we doing with the chronographs? Back then, people needed these chronographs for a purpose. Now we use a phone, we use a GPS to time something, we use something other than our watches, but they're just still so cool to have. We got a Butex here, chronograph, beautiful blue dial with the red second hand, and the nice syringe hands. These were just good, nice watches. From the 40s, 50s, we went into the 70s, early 70s, and then we went to the big watches. We started making them 40mm, and then we convinced ourselves that these chronographs were only for a sports watch. This is when we started to lose the aesthetic of the nice dress watch in a chronograph, and we just started going big and bulky, and very little companies started doing the dress chronographs. We have a Tissot with a Lemania here, and then we got a Breitling with a Lemania. Lemania, which is my favorite brand of all. You know, if I would have to pick between any kind of brands, I would pick Omega, but luckily Lemania is owned by Omega, so I get to love them both the same. But we went big, bulky, 44mm watches. This one I think is 40mm, and this is like 42mm, the Tissot T12. And I still haven't changed the pusher. I have it in stock now. I'm going to make a video pretty soon on how to change the pushers on a chronograph. But yeah, guys, 70s, we started to lose it, and we lost the aesthetic, and this is what we ended up with. I still like them a lot, but I much prefer the small dress chronograph. In the 80s, Breitling, who invented the way to put a chronograph into a watch, a wristwatch, made these chronomats for the Italian Air Force, and I snagged up this 1986. It's still bulky, but nice enough and small enough to wear as a dress watch or wear on any occasion. And this right here, other than the 40s, 50s, I like this watch right here, this era of chronographs, because they smalled it down, they scaled it down, and they did really nice work. And this is when everybody thought that there was going to be no more mechanical movements. Everything was going to go quartz. And I don't know if you remember, in that era, the quartz were extra thin, extra small. And everybody, that's what they wanted to wear. So these watches weren't very popular for the average Joe on the street. You know, everybody wanted the nice, thin Seikos or Citizens, the small, thin watches, quartz watches. And then from the 80s, we came to the 90s, 2000s, where we lost all aesthetics on the chronographs. It is strictly a sports watch. It's strictly a watch to wear for race car drivers, for any other sort of hobbyist that's into speed, into timing things. There is no more wearing a sports watch or a chronograph with any other than sports attire. We came with the Omega Seamaster, big, bulky, 40 millimeters, I think, with the big, long pushers, helium escape valve. This is 90s. Then we went to 2000 era. This was supposed to be a dress watch, which it isn't. And what I like about this Glycine, that Glycine didn't only throw the 7750, because these three are all 7750s, but Glycine took the running second hand out of it. So they did modify it a little bit, and Glycine, out of everyone, is the only one that gave us a open back so we could see a little bit of the artwork. But this was supposed to be a dress watch, which it isn't. Just sheer size, 41 millimeter, 42 millimeter. And then we go to the big monster. Now, Breitling, they did nothing in dress. This is a 44 millimeter watch, 17 millimeters thick. It's strictly a sports watch, and we just simply lost it, guys. We went from a nice dress watch to a big and bulky chronograph. I'll put it on top. This is 34 millimeters versus a 44 millimeters, plus the pushers, plus the crown, plus everything else. Look at the difference on the pushers. It's just crazy, guys. But this is what it is right now, and they're highly popular, and people like them. So, I can't complain. I like them a lot. But like I said, I'd rather stick with the nice old-fashioned ones. Another thing I wanted to show you guys that are not that collectible right now, but I really like these stopwatches. Vintage old stopwatches that you could get basically for nothing. And look at this, guys. Split second stopwatch. Isn't that nice? I just have an obsession with these. I have an obsession with every chronograph. And of course it's sold. And they're not going to work perfectly. But let me show you this other one, which is one of my favorite brands. The Lemania stopwatch. Also split second hand. This watch is basically in mint condition. I'll show you guys the movement. This is just added bonus to the video. If you guys are shopping around and see these, it doesn't hurt the wallet at all. This is the movement of the Lemania. Nice, beautiful column wheel stopwatch. You can see there. Just a nice watch all around. So yeah, guys, what's your favorite era of the chronograph watch? Let me know. You might be into the bigger watches. You might not be able to wear the smaller ones. So let me know what's your favorite era. Leave the comment below. And as always, like, subscribe. And guys, I thank you very much. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Thank you very much.